Welcome to my new unboxing of... Before we start unboxing, we need gloves, cutter, and a pair of hands. Here we have the Diablo box. The actual face is protruding. You can actually feel it protruding on the bottom left side. It's rated 16, and on the bottom right side it says the internet connection required. The internet connection is paid by the individual user. Now on the top left you have Evil at its prime, of course. It shows it with 3 more screenshots. You have the monk, followed by the wizard, and the demon hunter. 20 years have passed since the evil has been defeated. At the bottom left you have Blizzard, at the center you have the copyright policies, and of course on the top right you have 16 requirement, below it with the violence logo, and the barcode with the internet logo. Now on the side you have the Diablo 3 written. This doesn't have the engraving like the front page had. On the bottom you have the Blizzard logo, and on the top you have the operating system specifications, which is Windows XP, 7, and finally Macintosh, which came to Diablo 3 and wasn't previously in the Diablos 1 and 2. So here on this side we have the system requirements. On the top left we have this minimum system requirements for the PC and Mac, and on the bottom right we have the recommended system requirements, again for the PC and the Mac. And this is it for this side, and in general for the whole box itself. Now let's get into the box itself. You open it up, you have on the left side the demon, and on the right it says end of days. Of course you have the nice 2 circular sticky circles on both sides, and if you open it up you will have the Justice Shall Fall on the left, and of course the storyline with the 4 characters which you're going to be playing. And on the right side you have the 4 characters fighting within the actual game itself, followed by a few screenshots with the famous butcher who's back with his new scimitar, I believe, he's holding. And on the top right you have the wizard firing some fire, and as always you have the 2 famous globes on the bottom right. And now let's take a look within the box itself. The box looks very similar from the back, from the front, and from all the sides. And now let's go to the interesting part. So now the first thing you see on the left side, as you can tell, it seems to be a guest pass, and if I read it right, it says go to www.warcraft.com. So this seems to be a World of Warcraft guest pass, and on the other side, if we turn it around, it's a beautifully designed guest pass, of course with the serial key and the age requirement, which is below the Diablo of 16. The age requirement for World of Warcraft is 12. And behind the actual manual itself, you have the guest passes, 2 to be exact. The Diablo guest passes, of course, very similar to the actual World of Warcraft guest passes. The only difference is the age requirement is 16, and you can invite a friend to play. The time limit isn't set here. I believe it's up to a week. I'm not sure. If we turn the guest pass around, it says go to diablo3.com/guestpass to create your Battle.net account, and of course restrictions apply. And below the World of Warcraft pass we have the guide itself. The front page looks pretty beautiful. You have a quick starter guide, it says. Below it you have the beautiful Diablo 3 logo. If you turn it around you have a complete black cover with some slight grey spots all over it, and of course the Blizzard logo. Now if we move back to the front page itself and open it up, you will have on the left side the boss, one of the bosses in the game, and on the right side you have the PC installation instructions, followed by the Mac installation instructions. And on the second page you have the troubleshooting, which of course takes all the general troubleshooting, including sound issues and game performance. On the third page you have what is Battle.net itself. It explains to you what the actual Battle.net is, how to register yourself in Battle.net and activate your account in Battle.net, and help you to start playing this game. On the right side as well, and on the bottom on the right side it shows you the account security and other information. The next page itself is about the world of Sanctuary. Below it says, since their inception the forces of light and darkness have begun their engagement in the unending war. In other words, this actual small little storyline gives you a brief background of how the actual world of Sanctuary is. On the right side you have a nice picture of the barbarian fighting one of the demons. After that, the story continues from the previous page, explaining to you the Sanctuary, and on the bottom right you have the old Tristram Cathedral. And finally, we are in the classes section. Here it describes to you what the class is, and what to expect from the class itself. This page shows you the female barbarian. The next page shows you the male barbarian, followed by a more in-depth storyline in regards to the character himself. And we continue with the Demon Hunter character. On the right side you have a nice picture of the character itself. On the left, of course, a brief description of the character. In this case, the Demon Hunter is a ranged weapon melee expert. We follow by, of course, a substantially more in-depth background in regards to the Demon Hunter himself. You can read more details of the actual character here. And we're finally coming to an end. You have the monk. Here the monk again has a brief description of what to expect from the monk. And on the right side you have a beautiful picture of the character himself. Followed by, as always, a much more in-depth description of the monk and background information of the character you choose to play. And the final character in the Diablo series is the Witch Doctor. Again, on the left side you have a nice picture of the sexy female Witch Doctor. Followed by, on the right, a brief description of what to expect from the Witch Doctor. Here we have a much more in-depth of the Witch Doctor, and in this sense, on the right side, we do not have the female one, but we have the male Witch Doctor. In this case, you know what to expect from all characters, as each of the characters are shown in male and female genders. And now we have the Wizard. Again, it has a brief description, followed by the next page being an in-depth background of the actual wizard himself. And finally, the auction house, and on the right side you have the minimum system requirements and all the platforms it supports, and the recommendations as you saw on the external box itself. Thank you for watching.
And see you in hell.